Hi, Lisa Workman here. Now you've got your set of poles, you've got them set up. Now what about the technique? I'm going to stand up here shortly and show you. You'll see the side of my body, you'll see kind of the waist down so that you can start really recognizing where those poles need to be. So let's get started. So I'll come to a standing position, give you a visual. Now again, remember poles in the right hand, the right one's in the right hand, the left one's in the left hand. We can start with them in front of us to watch for that 90-degree angle at that elbow joint. That's where we want to have it for the proper height. But we want to actually slot those poles back behind us. We're not going to measure it, but it's about a 45-degree angle where that pole is landing. So the bottom part of that booty, so remember this bottom part of the booty here, is what's hitting the ground behind you. So the heel of your booty is what actually makes contact and then will roll as you bring that pole forward. So again, I'm slotting my arms back behind me. I feel the heel of that booty hitting the ground behind me. So the poles are kind of gliding beside the outsides of the thighs. So they would have a movement here. And for some people, I suggest just letting them drag behind you to begin with. So if I were to walk forward, I would simply just let those poles stay behind me. So I get used to the fact that the poles are behind me. So give that a try if you want when you're walking in your warm up to just let those poles drag behind you. After that, you want to think about the way the body moves in space. And what we know is that when we walk naturally, we walk in opposition. So when the right arm would come forward, the left foot would be stepping forward. Alternatively, if you bring your left hand forward and that right foot comes forward at the same time. So we walk in opposition. So give you that front view. I'm coming like so, or I'm coming like so. Those poles are going to stay behind you at all time points. So you would never step and try to plant and pull through. The arms are moving at the shoulder joint. So we glide those arms like a pendulum. Remembering that if I want to practice my arm movement, it's very much like shaking someone's hand. Reaching out with the arm to shake someone's hand. Now, of course, when you're outside, we'll have a little bit different feel than inside on the floor here, but you will have that sort of gliding motion starting to happen. So key pieces to remember for the technique is, of course, putting those poles back behind you, letting this little rubber tip, the little bit of the heel here, it's going to be pressed back behind you, and that's your contact point with the booty. As you let that arm come forward, swinging from that shoulder joint, you're going to bring the opposite foot forward. Now, of course, don't get too much in your head about the technique. Simply go and walk, drag those poles behind you, and naturally over time, that opposition of swinging arm and swinging leg will start to show up. It's really important that you don't get too worried about technique, because sometimes we get too concerned about it and then we don't do it very well at all. So forget about the real details, just go out and walk, and naturally those poles will glide beside you. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions at all, definitely give me an email at info@lisaworkman.com. Again, it's Lisa Workman talking all about Nordic walking technique, and I hope you get out and use your poles today.